Hi, this is Julie Tillman and welcome to my channel. Today I have a cute little new gnome that I've already created with the new Gnome Dies Monster add-on set number 1 that is part of today's mini monster release at Jaded Blossom. And so I thought I would come on and just share how I created this Enchanted Night Sky background and finish the card for you. I am using this Enchanted Night Sky stencil that was the freebie with purchase during our September release earlier this month. So I don't think it's in the store right now, but they usually add those to the store within a month or so. So we'll see. Just keep checking. I have die cut a circle that's about the same size as the circle in the stencil for the moon. And I did that from a full stick Post-it note. And then I covered it where I want my moon to go. And then I went around the edges with a little bit of mustard seed because I want a little glow, and that's also going to help me if there's any difference between my die cut and the circle that is on the stencil. And so I am going in with some purple inks. These are Distress Oxide inks. I am using Shaded Lilac, then Dusty Concord, then Villainous Potion. And I am just using circular motions to pounce that ink on there. Today I am using heavy cardstock, Distress heavy cardstock. I typically use Canson Smooth Bristol, and that is where I feel most comfortable in my blending. But I recently just got a new shelf in my craft room and reorganized everything, and I absolutely cannot find that pad of paper, so we went with heavy stock today, and it seems to be taking the ink, and I'm really pleased with the result I got. So a lot of the mystery of getting a smooth blend is just going in and building up those layers, building up the depth, going from light to dark, then dark to light, then light to dark, and just repeating the process until you get a smooth blend. You can go in with your lightest color at times if you get it a little dark and kind of take away some of the vibrancy with that lighter color and then come back in with a darker color. So that's what I'm doing there. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of black around the edges to really kind of frame that night sky. And then I'll go back in with the same purple colors from dark to light. And there I am adding a little bit more of the mustard seed. And now I'm going to flick on some water to give it a little bit of texture. And I'll use a little paper towel to blot some of that off. And since my Post-it note got wet, I'm using a little pen knife to take that off. And I really like that white look. I mean, you could just leave it like that if you wanted. It's really nice with those purples. But I am going to stick this stencil down. And I'm going to go in with the Squeeze Lemonade ink, and I didn't I didn't actually attach that to anything, so it slipped a little bit, but I'm going to put my magnets on there because I have a magnetic surface to hold that in place, and just go in with the lemonade, Squeeze Lemonade, yeah, that's right. And then I'll do a hint around the edges with that mustard seed to give it a little more shading. I think you could go in with like an orange, maybe like a ripe persimmon, and get more of a shaded look. But this was okay for what I was going for, you know. But I think a ripe persimmon or even a wild honey carved pumpkin would work good there. Or you could go in with some grays and give it kind of a dusty moon look. So now I'm just going over those edges to blend out any place where that stencil didn't match up with my die cut mask. Now I'm taking the bat portion of the stencil and I'm going in with Black Soot Distress ink. And you want to use a light motion. I'm using light circular motions. You don't want to press really hard or go back and forth a lot on those little delicate parts at the top of the bat, because those can lift up. So it's a good idea to just go in with a light hand and just keep adding until you get the vibrance that you want. Here I am checking to make sure he's gonna fit there. And now I'm going to add some splatters. This is Hero Arts White Glimmer Metallic Ink, and I'm just gonna water it down a little bit and splatter it on to my surface. As I'm looking at it now, I'm like, oh my goodness, why didn't I close my inks up? But it was okay because I kept everything in control and it stayed on the panel and not in my ink pads. But I would suggest that it's probably a better idea to like close those ink pads or get a splatter box. So I'm just like drying that real quick. And at this point I'm realizing, oh yeah, I should have done my splatters before I did my bat stencil, but we can always fix things. So I'm putting that stencil back over, aligning it up, and just going over with the Black Soot ink again so that it kind of diminishes those splatters that are on the bats, because I want them to be popping. So next I have chosen my sentiment. It is the Hope Your Halloween is Monsterific from the Monster Munchies set that was previously released from Jaded Blossom. And I am going to emboss it onto a vellum cardstock in white. And I used an anti-static powder tool there just to keep it from having too many extra embossing particles. And that stamp set is really cute. It's super cute. Lots of little monster sayings too. Birthday sayings and I only have eyes for you. I really like it. So next I'm going to put that vellum circle on, and the way I like to attach it is with artist tack, and they're just like sheets that have these tiny little adhesive dots on them. You can just lift up the release paper, put your die cut down, then put the release paper back on and burnish it, and then you have a little sticker. So I'm going to stick that down on my moon. If I had thought about my sentiment placement earlier, I probably would have moved those bats over and like embossed the sentiment in black over the moon. But you know, hindsight's 2020, and we're going with it, and I still like the finished result. I'm adding that on pop dots and a little bit of adhesive glue and attaching it to the card. And now I'm just using my Misty to line up the edges on my card base and attach it down. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I'm so glad you checked out my channel, and I hope to see you soon. If you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so the YouTube overlords know you want to see my content. And I thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. See you next time.